Hello everyone, and welcome to Hilda's Journey, episode 18. I hope you're all having a great day, and if not, I wish this chapter brings you a bit of good energy, as always. Today, Hilda marches straight toward the epic challenge, the Manticore. As usual, we start by buffing up and unlocking the final 2 abilities that will complete our build. We're also grabbing the 2 relics that protect us from skeletons and boost us whenever we destroy them. Against bosses, our control tools don't shine too much, but our spear kit is strong enough on its own. And now that we've reached level 30, we should be able to take on the Manticore without fear. The plan is simple. Rely heavily on the spear and our combat buffs. Use Arcanist for mobility and to survive skeleton explosions with the arcane shield. Switch into determination when we need some free damage, and keep enemies at bay with our spear's range. That's the idea. Let's see how it goes. As expected, Jolt didn't deal much damage and didn't apply its debuff consistently, so it's not going to be worth using it too often. Only on free turns where it won't slow us down. From what we've seen, our main source of damage is clearly coming from Nail Down, and especially Impaling Lunge, which not only pierces armor very well, but also has a high chance to inflict bleed. Combined with our spear's own bleed chance, it becomes a really strong tool against the Manticore. And there you saw it, a critical hit plus bleed. That one definitely hurt her. If we end up in a bad position, we'll use Dimensional Shift to reset our footing, buff up again, and look for the right angle to deal damage without taking too much in return. Remember that if too many skeletons gather around you, the Manticore will make them explode, which can hurt a lot. That's why it's important to keep Ether Shield active in those moments. With its magic defense, the explosion damage becomes almost negligible. Another thing we need to manage carefully is the timing of determination. We've already landed 2 free hits on the Manticore, and just as a reminder, determination gives our attacks a 75% chance to inflict bleed, plus an additional 20% weapon damage. If we activate it at the right moment, those hits become extremely lethal, especially when combined with our spear's natural bleed synergy. Used properly, it's one of the strongest burst windows we have. Did you see that? By killing a couple of skeletons, our relic triggered Blessing, a defensive buff that helps us survive damage trades with skeletons, and also reduces the chances of taking critical hits. It's a small bonus, but in fights like this, every layer of defense matters. Another thing I forgot to mention, even though I don't use it very often, it's actually very strong. Using Sudden Lunge on skeletons to gain cooldown reduction is a great tactic. Thanks to our willpower and the Bone Charm giving us drain energy, we can spam abilities without any issues. This keeps our entire rotation flowing and lets us maintain constant pressure on the Manticore. Something I discovered recently is that, just like the troll, the Manticore has no attack of opportunity. That means if the Manticore gets right next to you, and you don't have the proper buffs to trade damage, the safest play is to kite her until she casts a spell. When she does, you can reposition or wait for an escape ability like Rush or Dimensional Shift, depending on your build. I'm still getting used to understanding exactly from which tiles the Manticore can hit you, because this boss occupies a lot of space, and its hitbox can be confusing. You probably noticed that I even used Jolt to measure distance, and still ended up slightly misplaced, taking a hit from her anyway. But that's how it goes. Every mistake becomes real combat experience. Since it didn't turn into a big problem, we take it as learned knowledge for the next fights. Here we're at a comfortable distance, using the skeletons to dodge the Manticore's spell casts, clearing them as we go, and taking any safe opening to strike with the spear. And remember, once Pikeman Stance reaches 4 stacks, we gain an extra 20% bleed chance on every spear attack. If we use Impaling Lunge, which gives 40% bleed chance, that puts us at a very solid level. And if instead we use Determination, which adds 75%, the total rises even higher. In both cases, the bleed chance is extremely high, more than enough for the Manticore to feel every single hit. Looks like this isn't going to be a good spot to trade damage. We'll need to rely on evasive abilities, avoid getting cornered, and reposition ourselves into a safer angle. Of course, any small opening we find, we'll use it to hit the Manticore and try to keep her bleeding. But honestly, I don't think this fight has much left. The spear continues to surprise me. It's the weapon I've felt the most comfortable with so far. When you use its tools properly, you can almost become untouchable. Mobility, range, control over spacing, it really shines in fights like this. All right, we're going to use Seal of Power, not to boost our spell damage this time, but to keep the Arcane Might passive stacked high. That lets us push our critical chance a bit further, and adds an extra layer of magic damage to every hit. It's a small enhancement, but in a fight like this, every bit of extra pressure helps, especially when we're combining physical damage, bleeds, and a touch of magic all in one swing. Wow, that was some great damage! The Manticore tried to leap on us, but Hilda had determination active, and the counter hit came out as a critical that left her almost dead. A 150 damage crit, plus 3 injured body parts. And the Manticore has fallen. It was an excellent fight from Hilda, don't you think? I hope you enjoyed it, especially those of you who had asked me to take on this boss. I know many players struggle with this encounter, especially in their early runs, and they want to see how to handle each situation, when to trade, when not to, what to avoid, and what strategy actually works to deal consistent damage. I hope you had a good time watching, and for those who came looking for help, I hope some of these tips end up being useful in your own fights. If you enjoy this kind of content, you already know, drop a like for Hilda. And if you're not subscribed yet, feel free to join the Chill Quest community, where this type of content keeps flowing thanks to your support. As always, thank you so much to everyone who follows the series, who never misses a video, and to those who comment and share their thoughts or new ideas. I appreciate all of it.